Technology is constantly blooming in our society today. Schools are starting to develop the use of technology with
iPad, iPad,
iPad,
iPads.
iPad.
At Notre Dame High School, iPads are the key learning component in the class. Teachers and students use them every day to either learn, teach, or research topics about the subjects. Many teachers and students have different views on technology in the classroom. Some teachers and students were interviewed to talk about their views of technology during school.
Yeah, I use technology a lot in class because I edit NDTV and I'm always having to use a computer for that, because if I didn't, I would be using little tiny clips of film. That would be difficult.
Here in the library, we prefer to use the computers or laptops. It's easier for the kids to search through the databases or the internet or whatever library resource we are showing them how to use on the actual computer rather than the iPad.
I personally prefer online because I'm more organized, because all my notes are just like in my Notability and I don't have papers flying around my backpack. So that's helpful for me, but I do miss the sense of just like taking standard notes, because I think that it goes into my brain quicker instead of just typing something. So like I actually like understand.
A study reported by CNN Tech done in California showed that students using iPads saw their math test scores increase 20% in 1 year compared to students using traditional textbooks.
I know a lot of other classes use the iPads. I figure my class is one of the classes, since we don't use it very much, that they need the variety. And so the need for variety, as well as keeping students focused, is why I tend not to use the iPad.
I really enjoy having the iPads because I think it's a huge database for just resources that you can utilize at your fingertips. I mean, you can really look up anything and it's really helpful. But at the same time, like I do think it's very helpful to also physically write down what you're trying to study. I think it's a really good memorizing technique. So I think there's pros and cons to both.
I think it depends on how it's used by the teachers. I do think it's convenient for the students to be able to take an iPad to school, not have to take a lot of textbooks. I do think, however, it's too easy for students to, I know, for example, I don't allow students to look at their iPads during break, because what they start doing is looking at stuff that they're not supposed to be looking at. So I really think it's up to the teacher to regulate it. iPads can be useful, but I think it needs to be heavily regulated. Students have to learn to work with paper as well as iPads. They need to be able to work with both.
The attention spans of children are very short, especially with whatever they're doing, whether it's studying or working on a project or just even talking to people. Everyone's on their phone or on their iPad, and I think that technology has contributed to that.
So I do get distracted while using the iPad in class. I definitely, think it's helpful, but at the same time, like I'll find myself looking at, celebrity gossip. Like it just happens throughout my classes. I get, distracted or somewhat bored. Yeah.
They need that variety, and so I think I'm providing the hard copy paper variety that I think actually is something they need to be familiar with, not just for my class, not just for the AP test, but also for what they're going to have to do. They're going to deal with a lot of different academic intellectual challenges. This is certainly one of them, so that's why I don't use the iPad as much as other people.
Technology is just a part of our culture, and it's going to continue to increase in status and become more innovative, because I know that we're making so many advances like as a world that technology is just very imperative. So I think that'll just help us.
Technology has increased in the classroom drastically as it grows in our society. Students will continue to use technology in the classroom for many years to come.